Ladies, let me tell you something that might just change your game forever. If you want a man to chase you, not just today, not just next week, but forever, then you've got to carry yourself like you are the prize. Because you are. You've got to stop auditioning for these men like you're trying to get picked and start letting them know that it's a privilege to be in your presence. If you want a man to chase you forever, to really pursue you like you're the blessing he's been praying for, you've got to understand how powerful you are when you act like the prize. Too many women out here moving like they're trying to get picked, like they got to prove they're good enough, smart enough, pretty enough. But a man who's worth having already knows what he wants. What you need to do is show up in a way that makes him realize you are not just a woman, you are the woman. When you carry yourself with grace, dignity, and self-respect, you activate something in a man. A switch flips. He starts thinking differently. He starts treating you differently. Why? Because you're not available to just anyone. You're not saying yes to nonsense. You're not making excuses for poor behavior. You're letting him know through your actions, not your words, that if he wants to be in your life, he's going to have to earn that spot. Now, here's what makes a man chase. It's not the way you look. It's not how fast you respond to his messages. It's not how much you do for him. It's how you value yourself. Men are natural hunters. When something comes too easy, it don't mean as much. But when a man sees that he's got to be consistent, that he's got to be respectful, that he's got to come at you with intention and not confusion, he takes it more seriously. A man will chase a woman who knows how to say no to foolishness, who's not afraid to walk away, who knows she can be happy with or without him. You don't have to be cold. You don't have to be rude. You just have to be clear. And one of the clearest ways to show your value is by setting boundaries and actually keeping them. If he cancels last minute, don't be quick to reschedule. If he ghosts and pops back up talking about, I've been busy, don't entertain it. That's not a real man's behavior. That's someone who wants access without commitment. And you are not here for that. When you set the tone from the beginning that you're not here to play games, you immediately separate yourself from the rest. A man will test you to see how serious you are. He might push a little. He might try to see how far he can go. But if you stay true to your standards and don't fold just because you're afraid of losing him, you'll gain something more powerful. His respect. And when a man respects you, that's when he falls for you in a way that's real and lasting. Another thing women forget is the power of mystery. Let him wonder. Let him miss you. Let him think about what you're doing when you're not around. That doesn't mean playing games. It means having a life. Be so full of your own joy, your purpose, your passions, that he realizes being with you is a privilege, not a guarantee. You don't need to be texting him all day or available every time he calls. And if he says, "Why didn't you answer earlier?" you say, "I was busy." No apologies, no long explanations, just the confidence of a woman who's got things to do and places to be. That right there, it drives a man wild. Now, let's talk about how you carry yourself. You want it to be soft but strong, feminine but with a backbone. You can be nurturing without being a pushover. A woman who brings peace into a man's life is unforgettable. But you also can't be afraid to stand up for yourself. When you disagree, speak your truth. When something bothers you, address it with grace. Don't explode. Don't get loud. Get clear. A man will chase a woman who can love him and challenge him at the same time. That balance is rare and it's beautiful. And here's the realest truth I can give you. If you ever have to convince a man to want you, to choose you, to treat you right, he's not your man. The one who's meant for you won't need to be convinced. He'll see your value. He'll feel your energy. He'll know he's got to come correct or not come at all. When you act like the prize, you put the responsibility on him to rise up, not on you to shrink down. That's how you keep a man chasing, not just at the beginning, but forever. You don't lose yourself in him. You make sure you still have your dreams, your friends, your peace, your power. You love him, sure, but you never stop loving yourself. A man will chase a woman who knows how to love herself. A man will chase a woman who doesn't settle. A man will chase a woman who makes him better just by being who she is. And when you act like that, he won't just chase you. He'll thank God he found you. If you really want to make a man chase you forever, you have to understand one simple truth. Men value what they work for. It's not about being manipulative or playing hard to get. It's about respecting yourself so deeply that you won't accept anything less than real effort, consistency, and intentional love. When a woman truly understands her worth, she doesn't chase. She attracts. She doesn't beg. She sets the tone. She doesn't worry about being chosen because she knows she is the choice. You see, a lot of women get stuck in this cycle of overgiving. They think if they cook enough, text enough, love enough, prove themselves enough, that the man will see their value and stay. But what often happens is the opposite. The more you give without receiving the same energy back, the more he pulls away. Not because you're not amazing, but because you didn't require him to show up the way he should have. And when there's no requirement, there's no chase, a man is built to pursue. It's in his nature. but he needs something worth pursuing. And that comes from how you carry yourself. You got to remember your time, your energy, your love. They are gifts and not everyone deserves them. You can be kind and loving and sweet and still have standards that are not negotiable. Don't confuse being a good woman with being a doormat. There's nothing attractive about someone who's always available, always saying yes, always compromising their own peace just to keep a man. The truth is, the right man doesn't want easy access. He wants to feel like he earned your trust, your love, your commitment, because that's what makes it valuable. What keeps a man chasing is the feeling that he's lucky to have you, not that he has control over you. When a man knows you're not afraid to walk away if you're not respected, he treats you differently. He knows he can't half step with you. He knows he can't disappear for 3 days and come back like nothing happened. He knows if he wants to keep you, he has to keep showing up, and not just with words, but with action, with effort, with consistency. That's what separates the girls from the women. A girl might accept excuses, bare minimum, and confusion. But a grown woman knows she's not here to fix a man, to raise him, or to prove her worth to him. She knows she brings peace, joy, loyalty, and strength to the table. And if a man isn't ready for that, she's not afraid to eat alone. That kind of energy is magnetic. That's what keeps him chasing, because you're not just another option. You're a standard. You're the one he can't stop thinking about, the one who challenged him to grow, the one who held him accountable, the one who didn't accept crumbs when she deserved the whole cake. Let's be real. Men get bored of what's easy. It's just how they're wired. They don't value what they didn't have to work for. So if you're always chasing him, always calling first, always bending over backwards to please him, you're actually doing the opposite of what keeps the spark alive. You're showing him that he doesn't have to try. And when a man feels like he doesn't have to try, he stops trying altogether. But if he knows that you're not desperate for his attention, that you're not depending on him for your happiness, that you're fully whole with or without him, that's when he starts chasing. That's when he wants to prove himself to you. That's when he brings his best. Never underestimate the power of silence and space. You don't have to argue. You don't have to convince. You don't have to repeat yourself over and over. If he's acting up, if he's not being consistent, if he's playing games, step back, watch what he does. Don't chase clarity. If he wants you, he'll make it clear. And if he doesn't, your silence will say everything. That kind of strength, that emotional discipline, it drives men crazy because it shows him you've got control over your emotions. It shows him you're not going to crumble just because he pulled away. It shows him you're the type of woman who knows her value and protects it. You don't have to be flashy or over the top to keep his attention. You don't have to change who you are. Be someone else. What keeps a man coming back is how you make him feel about himself. But that only happens when you make yourself a priority first, when you glow from within, when you set goals and chase your dreams, when you walk in your purpose, when your confidence comes from knowing you bring something special to the table. And not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally, a woman who operates from peace, who doesn't tolerate chaos, who communicates clearly, but holds firm to her boundaries. That's rare. That's the kind of woman that men don't forget. The one who doesn't just look good, but feels good to be around. The one who uplifts, but never enables. The one who supports, but never loses herself in the process. That's what makes a man want to stick around. That's what makes him keep chasing, because he knows there's nothing else like you out there. You want a man to chase you forever. Then stop doing the chasing. Start loving yourself in a way that shows others how to love you. Start making choices that reflect the version of you that you're becoming, not the version who's scared to be alone. Start demanding emotional maturity, honesty, respect, and consistency. And most importantly, give yourself everything you wish a man would give you. Attention, love, loyalty, peace. When you show up for yourself like that, you'll attract someone who can't wait to show up for you too. And he'll chase you not because you made him, but because he knows you're worth it. If you really want a man to chase you forever, you got to carry yourself with a level of confidence and self-respect that makes him realize you're not like everybody else. Men can meet a lot of women. They could be surrounded by attention, compliments, people trying to get close to them, but they only chase the one who knows her value and doesn't settle for anything less than what she deserves. You see, the moment a woman starts acting like she's the prize, everything changes. The dynamic shifts because now he knows he can't play the same games. He knows he can't half love you. He knows if he wants to be with you, he's got to earn it every single day. It all starts with energy. Your energy introduces you before you even speak. If you walk into a room like you know who you are, like you're not desperate for attention, like your life is already full and you're not out here begging for love. A man can sense that and it drives him crazy in a good way. It makes him want to know more about you. It makes him curious. It makes him think, who is she? That's when the chase begins. Not because you're doing anything special, but because you're just being grounded, being self-aware, being at peace with yourself. Too often women feel like they have to prove themselves to be loved. They think if they go above and beyond, if they give more, sacrifice more, always say yes, then the man will stay. But what really happens is the man learns that he doesn't have to try. And when he doesn't have to try, he stops chasing. He becomes comfortable. He becomes complacent. And eventually he may even become disrespectful, not because you're not worthy, but because you didn't require more from the start. That's why it's so important to have standards and stick to them. When you show a man that you have boundaries, that there are lines he cannot cross, and that you will not tolerate being treated less than what you're worth, he either steps up or steps out. And that's exactly what you want. You don't want someone who's confused. You don't want someone who's unsure. You don't want someone who only shows up when it's convenient. You want someone who is clear about you, who is consistent with you, who chooses you every day, not just when he feels like it. And that kind of man is only drawn to a woman who carries herself with strength, grace, and a calm sense of purpose. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to lose someone who isn't treating you right. Because the man who's really meant for you won't make you feel like loving him requires losing yourself. He'll admire your strength. He'll respect your discipline. He'll be drawn to the fact that you're not desperate for love. You're simply open to the right kind of love. And when he sees that you won't settle for chaos, confusion, or inconsistency, he'll step into the role of the man he knows you deserve. A man will chase a woman who challenges him, not in a combative way, but in a way that makes him grow. A woman who pushes him to be better just by being in his life. A woman who doesn't allow laziness, doesn't accept excuses, and doesn't entertain nonsense. That kind of woman makes a man want to level up. That kind of woman makes him feel like he's got something rare, something real, something worth fighting for. And when a man feels that he doesn't run from it, he chases it. You've got to create a life so full that he wants to be part of it. Not because you need him to complete you, but because your energy adds value to his world. Keep working on your goals. Keep building your dreams. Keep focusing on your growth. The more fulfilled you are on your own, the more powerful your presence becomes. A man respects a woman who respects herself enough to not lose her identity in a relationship. He admires a woman who maintains her friendships, her passions, her independence. That balance between being emotionally open and mentally strong, that's what keeps him chasing. And let's not forget how powerful emotional control is. When you can regulate your emotions, when you don't react to every little thing, when you can stay calm in the face of pressure, that speaks volumes. A man will test your emotional strength sometimes without even realizing it. He wants to see how you handle disappointment, how you respond to conflict, how you treat yourself when he's not around. If you can remain composed, if you can choose your peace over proving a point, if you can speak with clarity instead of chaos, that's unforgettable. That's the kind of woman he'll chase forever because peace is rare. And when you are his peace, he'll fight to keep you. There's no need to play games. You don't have to pretend to be busy or make him jealous. Just be real, be consistent, and be grounded. If he calls, answer when it makes sense. If he disappears, don't chase. Observe. If he treats you right, appreciate him. But always prioritize yourself. Because when you love yourself deeply, you set the tone for how others should love you. Make sure you're not available for confusion. Make sure you're not accepting half love. Make sure you're not sacrificing your values just to be seen or chosen. Because you don't need to be chosen by just any man. You need to be chosen by the right man. And that kind of man will only show up when you're acting in alignment with who you really are. A woman who knows her worth doesn't chase, beg, or wait around. She moves with intention. She knows that the right man will chase her not because she demanded it, but because she inspired it. Because she made him feel like a better man just by being herself. And that feeling, that's what he'll want forever. When you act like the prize, everything shifts. A man doesn't chase what he doesn't feel is valuable. And that starts with how you treat yourself. You have to carry yourself like a woman who knows what she brings to the table. Not in arrogance, not in attitude, but in quiet confidence. The kind of confidence that says, I know what I deserve, and I'm not afraid to be alone until I receive it. That energy is powerful. That's the kind of energy that makes a man look at you differently, think about you more deeply, and pursue you with real intent. Men chase what they fear losing, not what's always available, not what's always accommodating, and certainly not what tolerates being an afterthought. The woman he chases is the one who has standards that are firm, not flexible. She's not rude, but she's clear. She doesn't argue or beg. She simply removes herself when the respect isn't mutual. When a man realizes that he can't play with your time, your emotions, or your energy, that's when he starts to value it. That's when he begins to show up better because now he understands that if he doesn't, someone else might. Or worse, you'll choose peace over him altogether. You don't have to prove that you're worth loving. You just have to stop proving anything at all and let your standards do the talking. When a man sees that your love comes with maturity, honesty, kindness, and self-respect, he'll be drawn in. But it's the self-respect that keeps him chasing. Because beauty fades, charm wears off, and novelty gets old. But self-respect that never stops being attractive, a woman who respects herself trains others on how to treat her, and the man who's serious about her will take notes and act accordingly. It's also about being able to walk away when something isn't right. That's one of the most powerful things a woman can do. You don't threaten it to throw it in his face. You just do it. You make peace with the fact that the right man won't need to be forced to do the right thing. If he has to be pushed, convinced, or guilted into loving you properly, then he's not the one. The one will step up because he wants to, not because he was pressured to. And when you're that woman who's not afraid to let go, you become unforgettable because most people stay where they're disrespected. When you don't, it makes him take a hard look at what he lost. Men respect independence. They respect strength paired with softness. When you've got your own life, your own goals, your own happiness, and you're willing to share that with someone, but not give it up for someone, that's rare. That's magnetic. A woman who's not relying on a man for validation or direction is the kind of woman who becomes his peace. And every man, no matter how tough or successful, is looking for peace. And when he finds that in you, he won't risk losing it. He'll chase it. He'll protect it. You can be warm, feminine, nurturing, all of those things. But you should also have a backbone. Speak up when something feels off. Let him know what you expect. Don't suffer in silence just to avoid conflict. Don't ignore red flags just because the chemistry is good. Speak with grace, not anger, but make sure your words are rooted in truth. A man will chase the woman who doesn't let her emotions control her, but uses her voice to lead with clarity and love. That's not weakness, that's strength. And strong women, real ones, are who men chase for the long haul. There's also power in mystery. You don't have to share every detail, post every moment, or explain yourself constantly. Leave some things unsaid. Let him wonder about you. Let him miss you. Don't always be the one reaching out, replying instantly, or making all the plans. Make room for him to show up. When you create space, a man has the opportunity to step into it or not, and his response will tell you everything. If he comes forward with energy, consistency, and presence, then you know he's serious. If he disappears or plays games, then you've saved yourself time. Either way, you win by staying in your work. Never allow fear to make decisions for you. Fear of being alone, fear of not being chosen, fear of starting over. That fear will keep you settling, shrinking, and accepting less. But faith in yourself, that will keep you walking forward with dignity. A man will chase a woman who has faith in herself, who knows that her presence is a gift, who believes that love should feel safe, secure, and mutual. When you embody that belief, the man who is meant for you will chase you. Not just the idea of you, but the real you. And don't forget, consistency is key. A woman who is consistently herself, who doesn't switch up to please others, who doesn't compromise her values under pressure. That's rare. Men are used to women who shift depending on who they're with. But when he sees that your energy stays the same no matter what, when you're being pursued, when you're upset, when you're uncertain, that level of maturity is attractive. He knows that with you. There's no guessing. He knows what to expect. And that steadiness is what men crave more than they admit. So many women worry about whether they're enough for a man when the real question is he enough for you? Flip the script. Stop auditioning. Start observing. Let him show you who he is. Let his actions speak. Let your boundaries speak louder. And most importantly, let your love for yourself be so loud that anything less than real effort gets drowned out. The woman who makes a man chase her forever isn't playing games. She's not pretending to be someone she's not. She's not withholding love just to gain control. She's simply being herself fully, completely, unapologetically. And that version of her, that's the version that no man wants to lose, because once he experiences that kind of realness, that kind of depth, that kind of peace, he'll chase it for as long as he's lucky enough to have it.